mission, a mission. I'm trying to get it right. Transition, changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission, trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life, making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, ooh. Trying to mission, a mission. I'm on a mission. On a mission, I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. Transition in my life. On a mission, on a mission, on a mission.
Welcome. This is Alchemizing Energy. And today we have our special guest, Baba YashaBiyah, in the house today with Principles of IFA. Welcome, Baba YashaBiyah.
A cowboy, goddess, a cowboy, and Modu Pay for bringing us on. I want to send out special thanks to you and Alchemizing's broadcasting platform, and let us know that we are on to something big. And I suppose I'm looking for goddess 6'2", we call her Queen 6'2", but we've been discussing some things earlier today. And what I want to do today, we want to talk about
I'm sending the link to her right now, so give me 1 second.
The principles of IFA. Okay. I was hoping to get hold to Brother Ivan, but I didn't get a chance to get hold to him. What
you can go ahead and start the intro. You can start talking.
Yeah. What we're talking, not only the principle of IFA, but the purpose, which a divine purpose of the principles of IFA is to unify, to bring us together collectively, to find an agenda to move us forward as indigenous people in the world, starting at home first. And so we want to use this platform. And I've been getting a lot of uploads here lately from the ancestors. And I was invited to go back to December the 21st, 2000, when the portal opened up and Obatala and Oya came on the scene, and it was time for change. And the topic then was given us E5 for the new millennium for this diaspora. And it was dealing with how we got to pull off a lot of the things we've been doing, because IFA is evolving at such a massive rate that a lot of people is trying to keep it in a pigeonhole and not letting it grow. And IFA wants to expand its wings, expand its reach. Surely if society, those who took our science and our knowledge and our binary code and algorithms, and they renamed it African fractals, and they built a whole computer system on how to communicate with the world. Why are we not using our own technology, and binary code and algorithm to create a way to unify us as a nation of people? Even though we may have many diversities in it, diversities could be a plus. We all ain't got to be from the same tribe, but have the same purpose in mind. They call that a confederation. And I want to use this platform to do that. My desire is right now with people, I would like for all those who practice or participate in the I won't say religion, I'll say the spiritual growth of IFA, be it from your cultural or science. Why we cannot come together at the table of reasoning, work out the differences, and come up with an agenda and a plan to move us forward and create a better life for our people and the world. What I like about Baba Karate says, if I commend a wounded world or a broken world, then how would we go about doing it? First of all, we got to get rid of diversity. We got to get that diversity into unity among our people, and we got to find out where do we start building back. So we got to start with self, getting our character in line, where we can get the respect that is due our priests, priestesses, Babalawos, and ascending masters. Everybody want to do their own thing. This thing is bigger than all of us. The reason being, when we transition, who's to pick up the mountain and carry it on a little further? So we want to work on that today. And I've been talking different ones. So where do we begin our work to rebuild and to reclaim ourselves? Because you have those that the have and the have nots, the wannabes and all these things. But where do we fit into the narrative of things? We spend a lot of time discussing and chasing propaganda and what's going on out there that really does not have anything to do with the cost of bread in our neighborhood, other than what this government is doing. How do we sustain ourselves when all is gone and we're back to square one? You know, what do we look at that brought us together, that could bring us together now? So, and then once you get the plan, once we divine on it and see if this the plan that the ancestors say go with, then that's the way we do it. And I don't know how many people that DJ Genesis know, but I like to reach out to all of the Babalawos, no matter what house you come from, and ask you, what is your plan or agenda to move and to improve the quality of life of our people as a whole? And that's where we're at now. Uh, uh, Queen, well, I like the word goddess. Goddess 6'2". 6'2" had some very powerful uploads that she got into. She called me early and we had a chance to talk, but I don't want to get off into that right now. But I also want to know this. Everything has to have a purpose, an agenda, and an assignment. That's what I like about our theme song. I love that theme song. I don't know where it come from, but it brings joy every time she come on with it in there, and money making money. Now, to begin with, IFA is a science. It's a communication device that used to connect us to our celestial side and terrestrial side. Those are only two things that matter. First spiritual, then natural and spiritual. And according to the 16 tools of IFA, it says that we pass between these two variables on a daily basis. Now, how can I use these variables to improve the quality of life? First of all, of my personal home, my community, and then the nation as a whole. Those are the steps that we need to look at, because we have so much confusion in the home. We have so much divisions in the home, so much of this among us. We got so much caste system. How do we get rid of the caste system? Because it is destroying us. The main thing that really hurt us was a thing called integration. Integration. See, right now we're worried about white supremacies and racism and bigotry and what they won't let us have. But the thing about it, what are we doing to help ourselves where we don't have to worry about white supremacies, bigotry, racism, Jim Crow? These were just tools they used to try to keep us in the box, to put us in the invisible fence to hold us down. But when do we break through the fence? What do we use to break through the fence? I say it's time to segregate. We built more and more, and then when you segregate this time, build a protective wall to protect that which we build, that it don't be taken again. Person asked me about the other day about how I feel about this illegal immigrants. I don't like the word illegal, because the guy that called me illegal, that's the illegal that's already here. They came up with a place and they just took over, and they started creating laws to make them seem like they were not born on this land, on this thing. So therefore, they come here telling us they illegal. Now, The illegal part is the fact that we let the illegals come in here and tell us what's illegal. We've been here longer than anybody. Modu Pay got us 6'2". Modu Pay here. And so my thing today, where do we quit arguing about that and take our opportunity? Because this is an opportunity. Now, you're not going to like what I'm going to say. Yes, everybody's mad at Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is just like Ronald Reagan. When he came on, it gave us an opportunity to find ourselves, begin to rebuild ourselves, and come back stronger. It's called the art of war. When everybody's divided and fighting, you step back to the, and when the dust settles, you got your stuff in plan. I want to ask you today, and I'm glad that she's here because, oh man, she got to help upload, and I don't say download or the help upload. And I want to ask you all today, how many of y'all know, how many black farmers do you know? How many black farmers do you know? Because in one while, we as indigenous people own 16 million acres of land. Why are you going there, Bob? Because there is no research that tells us about how to grow, when to grow, get the most product out of it, and being aligned with the seasons. Everything must operate within its season. Our problem is we don't know what hell season we in. You know, we out there doing things. Everything has a season of production, rest, defense, but we don't know what season we're in. So I ask anybody aloud today, what season are we in as African? I'm gonna use the word African American because we chose it on the census. What season are we in for growth and to establish ourselves as a people with power and authority to move forward? What season are we in? If I thought and told me, but I want to ask you, have any of y'all ever researched? Because everything is done by seasons. Now the book you claim you believe in, the good book, and Psalms 104 verse 19 says, the moon is for the season. So what moon season are we in to move forward with the feminine energy to move to where we need to go? That's what it's going to take. It's going to take that feminine energy that created the world. I know you ain't gonna like that. I know you brothers been gotten mad because you into your machoism, but it was the feminine energy that created the world. From the word ibogenesis, parthenogenesis, Genesis. Now I might have went a little far out there, but that's just what I do. Now, question is, first of all, what group has an agenda for us? I'm gonna get quiet for a second. I see the goddess and showed up 6'2". Talk to me.
You know, I got an opinion, and my opinion definitely flows with yours, especially when you started off about Trump. But anybody out there in the chat want to tell you hello, 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 and welcome. Want to make sure I say hello to Barbara, who's heading on this stage right now. Definitely want to make sure that I speak to DJ. Thank you so much for doing all the hosting. We definitely appreciate you. And on to that note, when you mentioned the word Trump, it kind of got me with my
And I want to finish because he's giving us an opportunity, believe it or not, whether you like it or not, he's giving us an opportunity to get our shit together.
That's the point right there. And then what people have to do, that's why I keep pushing that you got to take his name off the table and look at the bill he's presenting.
Right.
He's presenting a bill on the table right now. That doesn't mean that you have to go along with everything. If you ask me to be honest with you, I feel like Democrat and Republican need to come off the table right now. You need to put all party styles, all that need to go on the side. If you want to say you anybody right now, say you NPA, you nonpartisan. That's where I'm at right now. Why? Because I'm nonpartisan. Because if Trump do something I don't agree with, I'm going against him. If he do something I agree with, I'm gonna go with him. It didn't matter who it was. It's all about once you become a president, why do you still get to honor a party style? You should be honoring the nation and the people at that point. And one thing that I can say about Trump, coming from a person that's not all of a Trump lover, but what I can say, it doesn't matter the color right now. It doesn't matter the race right now. He's trying to show you that there's a different way that you can start building your own economy if you pay attention to what he's trying to do and take his name off the table.
I
also want to go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead, Goddess.
I also want to say that I want to go back into, because I need to hear a little bit more about what you're saying about the farming and the situation that's going on over where you're at. I know you asked initially, do we know any farmers? I personally don't, but I'm interested in what you're saying is going on over there.
Yeah. Well, the farmers, when we got these are things we need for the same life. We need food, and
Correct.
the farmers need support because they're getting kicked around by the government because we don't have enough support from the community and from us to help sustain this. There are a lot of them struggling, so they have to take whatever's handed out. We realize and know that a lot of the big corporations control the seeds now. They control this, they control that. Bill Gates got on board. But one of the friends of mine, he has 2,800 acres that he's farming. I got another friend that's got another 2,000 that he's farming, you know. But we need to know where the other ones are because they're not the only two. They're not the only two. And we need to know who's growing what, who's doing what, and create a nationwide co-op. So when things get rough, we can feed our people, you know. That's one thing that I had a chance to go and meet to the farmer king of Ojutunji Village when I went and visited with them. They were trying to get into an area of product so they could begin to raise things to ship across to, because logistics, God, is going to be the key. We got to learn how to control the logistics. If anybody in trucking knows, most now you're seeing Mexicans and Arabs on the road. One while it was just brothers and whites. Now the Mexicans came in. After that, the Arabs came in. Chinese, everybody's getting into logistics. What we did not do, we did not call the market of import, export. What I mean by that, we import a lot of things, but remember, we don't control the channels or the containers or the ships or the tankers to move the product across the water. Even if we wanted to help Africa, we have no way to get the goods to them. You understand? Without going through the shall I say, the oppressed, the culture chiefs. Allow me to use that word. Go through the culture chiefs. That's the cats that's out there that don't look like us, that control the Panama Canal and control these big shipping containers companies like K-Line and MPA. See, being in trucking 56 years, I learned this. I learned this. And we don't even control no container yards. Do you know how much money we can make if we had to take the land and start stocking and building an interchange for a container company from the ships to the ports? In Tallulah alone, we can make $4 million a year just alone on land sitting around, and we got rails to bring in containers and offload. We got, but right now, because we don't control that avenue of logistics, we're at the mercy of those that do. So we're gonna take our power back, and we can take it through this. You know.
Go ahead. Let me ask you. So with the farmers over there, the ones like you said, there's two of them so far got like 2,800 acres and another one 2,000. What is it that they actually need? Like, what's going on in the area of farming that you know of?
They're needing a way to move the product that they're making inland better, because right now they're counting over export to make their money. And sometimes if China decides they don't want the soybean, those soybeans rottens in silos. They don't want the corn, it rottens in silos. The rice is rotting in silos. Cotton is not getting shipped out in time, so it's not making it to the market because we don't control textile anymore. You know, these things you make clothes. We should have textile plants. Most textiles are moved overseas. They're talking about cars. People need clothes.
Okay. I had a question for you. So the farmers are actually failing right now because they got export, but they don't have import. What is it particularly when you speak to them? What is it that they're saying that they need, like, as a fix now? But even though we know there's long-term problems, what is a fix now for farmers over there?
The problem that we're having now, talking to one of my main friends who is a farmer.
Yeah, that I would like to speak to him.
A matter of fact, I'll get him on because right now they're planning, they're trying to get things ready. And The next time we come on, I will make sure that I have him on as a guest. He can give you the
Yes,
whole rundown. And
that's
now
why.
see, then a lot of them is trying to get into politics because it is the politicians. I know we talk about that's making these laws rough where they
Right.
can't get certain things. John Deere has a thing with the white farmers. They can use a combine for a whole year and don't make no payments on it. You know, and they
But
got
none of
equipment
that
they
is
can use.
available.
Huh?
None of that is available for blacks or for that
You
side of the
might get it
farm.
for a couple of weeks, but not for no whole year.
So in other words, so if we start right there. In other words, we don't have any. We don't have. So if we have certain farmers that have contracts with John Deere, what we're saying is we don't have any contracts available for the contractors, which are the farmers. So we don't have that availability where they can pick and choose through a contract or decide like how the other party style have it, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
We need to start finding out where is it. That's okay. That's the part that I want to understand too. Where is it basically that the contracts are hidden where we can't find them for our certain communities
And that's where we need to start, Goddess.
and funding.
Yeah. And see, the
Okay.
problem is that we got the money. Then we got to start reaching out to our so-called athletes and actors to pool resources. Because we got to learn how to pool our resources to achieve the thing that we need. And we need our black farmers back to be able to compete in the market. Right now, they can't compete.
So you understood the other day when I touched on that, when I say, listen, if we take a certain name off the table, and we understand exactly what's going on, we'll see how we can help. Because someone said that, oh yeah, but all of the crops are going bad and this and that. Yes, sometimes you got to come to a standstill in order for things to start shifting back where it need to go. So if we start by nipping at one thing, which is if we got to move the immigrants out the way, listen, the immigrants are working for who? The same white men that can produce contracts for people to sign on to John Deere. And that's where, see, that's what I was trying to tell you. So then we can take our farmers, if we get the riffraff out, because if long as the riffraff here, we got the upper man right now controlling the contract. Why? Because he's controlling the money, because he's triple dipping into the money by paying the immigrants. They shortchanging us. They're getting out the legal people that should be here working, even if whether you're legal American or illegal or a legal immigrant, we need to let them people shift back in. So then we can free up the market. So now the right farmers should be able to get in, because if you can't keep up with it anymore, you as a whole, as a corporation, you're going to come down because you were using certain people in order to run. Plus you had certain contracts that we were not privy to. That's what you're saying.
And that's
one mission. So now I can write that down. That's one mission. The next mission is, I just want to make sure, I might have to stop you just a little bit until we get more people.
We're trying to set up an agenda. We're trying to create an agenda and a plan of action. See, I think we talk a lot of yakety yak. Yet we have no agenda or plan of action.
Nothing. And in order before you to have an agenda or a plan of action, one thing about it, you got to understand it, or you got to have a leader that you can successfully follow. And I think that's where you come in, because long as I got a leader like you, might not put your feet on the ground like me, but long as you showing me where to go at, I know how to follow you. Because this is what some people say. Like I see, somebody put in the chat in a message today. Oh, who am I at? What kind of man you think I am to be married? And I'm saying to myself, well, you'll be the wrong one for me to marry, because I think a man that I know, a real man, know behind every man is a strong woman. Because when he leaves, she should have had enough rest to lift his ass back up and say, either I need you to take a rest and let me take control right now, or let me lift you back up because you got work to do. I'm behind you. Here's your nourishment. Here's your food. Here's everything. Because when I get ready to walk, I need you to stand beside me and behind me at times.
Right.
And that's what people don't get.
What I liked about when we don't grab enough opportunities for economic growth. When I mentioned about Greyhound and Trailway bus line, when it went down, it was a mess. It was a Mexican female told their husbands to go out and they pulled their money to buy the buses. I watched them do it, Goddess. One lady husband lost his job. She went out and bought him a wrecker to start hauling cars. create a business for him, rather than arguing. See, we have too much competition in our marriages. We need to take the competition out.
You better tell it. You better tell it, Baba, because you know I had it in mind and people won't believe it. I had so much competition in my marriage. I'm like, I funded about 8 businesses, and I'm like, my last business was a trucking company, and I'm like, this husband, he drive trucks. I got a trucking company, the contracts and everything. And I said, Lord Jesus, why you didn't send me a king that fight hard as I fight? And sometimes it'll break you down so bad until you got to go underground and you got to find yourself. And when you get rebuilt, that's when everybody in trouble. Until the Lord say, you could put your crown on as a queen because your king right there, that's what you fought for. This seat right here at the table. I'm fighting for my seat all over again.
The reason I can talk because I got 56 years of trucking. My God, and she's a school teacher, took her pension money and our money and built one of the largest trucking companies in Northeast Louisiana. They want to call them minority. ABBE Enterprise. We had over 16 trucks running over the road. We had everything from flatbeds to reefers to drop deck.
Can I ask you, do you know anybody in Florida?
Do I know anybody in Florida? No, we used to run in and out of Florida though.
Oh, because I got a friend here in Florida. He said that he has a brother in Alabama that owns a trucking company.
Well, the trick now is not only own it, but also create your own forwarding company. See, I'm also a certified broker that has the authority to forward. I can broker between the customer and the truck rather than going to another brokerage. I had
got my brokerage license too. Play surety bond and all.
Look at you.
I told you that's why I never fit in anywhere, Baba. I never fit in because my mind always went here, and I never stopped until I see where I was trying. I said it's somewhere I'm trying to go, and it seemed like now I can get where I need to go because I done let everything around me go that's not supposed to be there. That's what we need to teach people. We need to teach them how to let everything around you go until you can come back to it and face it the right way. Or if it's so far out of control, that's not what you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about the small things that be festering.
Now, let me hit you with this. But what does IFA got to do with that? Do you not know every deal I made, I divined them before I did the deal?
Pay attention.
I called the ancestors. I would
call me in just like that.
But not a good deal. And they would tell me yes or no. That's how I made my money. I made over $250 million in 6 months listening to the ancestors.
And guess what we need to do? We need to start that back up again. You know why, Baba? We need to have them coming online, right here online. Right here online, and you speak to them right here online. If we trying to start something, we can start it right here because you know what? It's time for people to understand. I heard somebody say, "Oh, you can't believe in the Lord and have effort." I say, wait a minute, back up now. See, that's what y'all get when y'all start listening to people that's not your business to be listening to. And you should be minding your BUSINESS, not your BUSY, idiots.
Yeah, you know, and I think even if I want to go buy a truck or a trailer, I would divine and ask, is it for me to have this? How's it going to work? And my God can tell you, I went through 5 trucks one day. He told me, ain't nothing going to work for you.
Just like that. Right.
Yeah, and I didn't buy now. And I bought one, 16 trucks in 5 months.
And you know it.
I went from 1 truck to 16 in 5 months, following the leading of IFA and a brokerage.
Hey, Baba, you know I need you to talk to me. You know I'm over there doing that small channel. He told me that it's going. I'm doing that men only. He told me keep going. He said you're a millionaire. He said you super past a millionaire, and you better ask him to who I am. And I'm gonna tell you, Baba, I'm not one to give up that easy like that. I don't give up easy. And imagine who my guardian angel, Oshun.
Oh, come on. All right.
And I fit every bill of her, every single. When I tell you every bill, the only thing I used to wear a lot of jewelry, and I had to, when I was connecting all over, trying to connect, I had to get free from everything. I had to clear everything. It's like I started over like a new kid on the number 12. Okay. I started over on the 12th of the month.
Okay.
The 12th of the month. And I know you say you call them ancestors in, and I have to call them in. That's why I'm ready to get up over there. I'm trying to find out what's the real connection between New Orleans and the connection to Alabama, especially with these prisons. I need to find out about these farmers, and I need to find out about that prison. What is it? Oh, Angola?
Angola,
I
yeah.
need to find out, because I need to know who land there really belong to, especially if y'all put it on a plantation. Y'all set it on top of a plantation.
Yeah. And another thing we can look into, like I said, but remember this, we're working on taking it. How do you eat an elephant? Bit by bit.
Didn't I keep
damn thing. Take it bit by bit.
Got to nip at it. You see what Trump doing? He taking to do it just like this, Barbara. Take a pinch at him just like that.
Yeah.
You got to pinch at him just like that. Sometimes when you pinch them like that, you be done pinched them like that. They don't even know what stung them. They be looking all around like, where they hit me? What you did? Don't go to dog now. Barbara, you got some knowledge you got to give us before you go from here, baby. I'm telling you, you ain't going like that today. They done sent me to you, and I don't think I'm going nowhere.
I appreciate you. So what we're gonna do now is start hooking this up. So what I'll do, I'll talk to James, and I'll get James on here, and he can tell you more because he's active every day in it, you know, and the farming thing, and we can start connecting even where, no matter where you are. If you got people out there, I got a friend that has 28 acres. If you got anything out there that can we can use to co-op, to grow a product that we can use, because right now sweet potatoes are big in Louisiana. Sweet potatoes are a big thing out here now. Okay.
What do you think about Florida? Yeah, I got the food on the list. I got all of that on the list. And we're definitely
right now we need to talk to those in Florida and see what Florida. I know Florida is known for orange and stuff like that, but there's got to be another product that we can snatch up out of Florida. Because most times you go to Florida, if you don't go into Florida with a reefer, it's hard to get out of Florida with a load. So,
but wait a minute. What if we come in Florida for palm trees? Is palm trees anywhere special? Let me tell you. So let me explain.
Nursery is a big thing to get into. Also, Goddess, moving these trees for retransplant.
So let me tell you, I have a friend. He's an ex-police officer. He's been retired now a couple of years, but been on the force for over 40 years. And I can tell you this, at the end of the day, he got, if I'm not mistaken, from a good white man, just because he was a good black man, white man dang on near gave him over 80 acres of land, and he's sitting there really with nothing to do it. And he only let the people come and buy the palm trees because the trees grow on their own, and they come and he sell the palm trees to them.
Wow.
All different kinds of palm trees. And he's sitting on over 80, it might be 100 and something acres, to be honest with you. And so we were talking about that, Bob, and we were also talking about putting a dispensary on there. I don't give a damn. Take over all of it. Get everything and leave it for these grandkids and these great grands. I want it all. Everything they owe me, I want it. And I mean every bit of it. Because I know they owe my mom. And I ain't leaving till
the agenda should be then we got to go back and talk to these families that were disenfranchised and see what kind of contracts because a lot of them is doing what they call land lease. They know a lot of the land. Right here where I live at in Tallulah, over 456,000 acres belong to blacks. But the whites farm it because the blacks don't have the equipment or the tools to farm it. So they leased it out. They leased it out to the white farmers. Most of the land is leased. Then the white farmers turn around and get contract with China, Russia, and other companies to do the stuff. You'd be surprised how much rice comes out of here going overseas. How much wheat comes out of here going overseas. How much corn comes out of here going overseas.
We got so much. It's so much. Listen, we sitting in the billions of dollars owed, and right now is the time. And I want people to learn to take the name off the table and start looking at things for what you
From
see.
a holistic standpoint.
Yeah, you got to look at it for, if you ain't gonna do it right now, look at what you need to have. What are you gonna leave for your children, like, without scuffling? What are your children gonna be able to grow up off of? If you somebody, especially in these generations, man, let's get started. But we're gonna get what we need to get, because I'm not gonna stop.
Well, we're going to teach our children the importance of prioritizing to get their legacy, because right now they're prioritizing in the wrong place.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to like Barry Shangle said, we got to take them back down, set them back in the back room. Say, look, bro, this is we're building a legacy, and we can
You got
go it away.
You got to put that elbow on the bottom.
All right, all right, all right. Back in the day, we were scared to mess with the family name. You know, we were scared. You know,
that's the problem.
Bring mark on the family name. You know,
that's the problem.
And
that's why
you know what? With all these nicknames and $half a dollar and 3/4, get something that has value and frequency to it.
Right, and that's what people don't understand. And listen, let me explain this to you, Barbara. I've been trying to tell people this, and I'm not going to stop. And I said, you know what I need to do? I ain't been going in hard enough. I said, what people don't understand is, listen, boots are not on the ground right now.
No.
Boots on the ground mean you gonna fuss. I ain't got to dig into it because I'm gonna just tell you a tap. But anybody that's listening and need to hear this, boots are not on the ground right now, but you need to keep them down there. What you need to do is leave your boots on the ground, and you need to use your head and come up in the air. If you start forming like a small channel on YouTube, I'm telling you, let Trump do. You don't have nothing to do but to get somewhere and start a free business. Get your dumb asses on YouTube. If you got a small channel, bring it to me on Fridays. I don't care what I'm looking at on your channel. I promise you, I'm gonna spot something in there that's gonna help you as well. Your channel, start treating it like an entertainment, but business on the back end always. You see that you cannot open brick and mortars; they're too expensive. Come in the air, start working in the air, start understanding what it means. So what goes up has to come back down. We're trying to rearrange the roots right now. If you pay attention, if you let us rearrange the roots, and you be up here working for free, work your butt off online right now. It's free. How much does it cost for you to come on YouTube? How much does it cost for you to do what you're supposed to do, which is just be you? If you know how to do that, come. I'm forming a community where you can make it. If you do what we're telling you to do, what Barbara talking about right now with the land over in Alabama, we're talking about what's going on in New Orleans. We already know what's going on in Florida. We could see what's going on in Texas. Learn way to start making your money at, and the easiest way to start making your money right now is free up here, because what goes up will come back down. If you start making $1, get monetized up here, when you come back down, you're gonna be ready to put your feet back in the boots.
Okay, all right. And that's what we're striving to do, is come up with an agenda and a strategy to enhance our quality of life. Once we begin, and this time, let's not let them come in and take it through bullshit like they did Wall Street and Greenwood. Learn to protect our back and front and side. We got excited about moving forward, progress, but we forgot to protect our interests. We forgot to protect and quit letting us get distracted. Quit getting distracted. Like I told you before, for every nation that rise up, there's a coming up and a going down.
That's right.
Learn the art of war.
That's right.
Read the art of war. See how the art of war is called. Art of War, Shambhala Dragon. That's what I read.
That's right. That's right.
You understand the game of chess and Monopoly. These are games set aside to teach you how to navigate through life. I ain't got time to worry about. You know why I don't worry about Donald Trump? Because he eats shit and die like anybody else.
Anybody else. One leg on pants leg.
One leg at a time. And but remember, everything they got is pre-planned. They don't do anything on the spur of the moment.
That's
everything is pre-planned and tested, archetype, then put into operation. We got to learn to do the same thing. Nothing is instant like instant potatoes.
That's right.
We got to put the work in. And where do we start? We find the very minute thing that we can get started with, and you come in what you call like a step, real quiet.
That's
when they know the thing, we up.
That's what I said I have to do.
I'm saying now, let's reach out to our brothers and sisters in these communities. If you got land, we can co-op everything from California to Alabama. You understand? Everything from Florida to New York.
All we got to do is wrap it in a circle. You just got to learn how to loop everything together and start making friends. Stop making friends in the wrong ways. The way to make friends right now.
And then too, everybody that's white ain't your enemy.
No. That's what we need to get out of color. It's colorism.
You need to. There's a guy by the name Neely Fuller. He talk about white supremacists. That is just a tool.
Yeah.
It's a
To keep
tool
you
they
back.
use to keep you in the box.
Keep you
You're
back.
talking about it, and the more you talk about it, the more energy you give it. Let's quit giving our energy to these energy vampires. You
That's
understand?
right.
You know, and
That's
then
what I
and
learned.
now you ain't gonna like this, and I understand because we love the party.
Let
We
them tell
love
it.
the party.
Tell
But
it.
do you not know celebrating July the 4th is an insult to our ancestors? Because they wasn't free. They wasn't free.
Just don't even, and that's why I go with the flow with some things, Barbara, and try to just nick them in the head other places. Because one thing about it, once you already got them trained to the Juneteenth, and you know that they
Oh,
the white man
those
and
are
all them create
distractions.
days for them. They get to create the days, and we get to play in it. That's why they say black people got all the superstition and white people got the money. I'm tired of superstition, and I'm
You
ready
better
to put the
keep on
money.
talking. You better shut and keep on talking, God.
They don't
You
understand that
better
part
shut
of
and
it.
keep on talking.
Come on
And that's
now.
our problem.
Mhm.
We got our priorities all in the wrong place. Our
Wrong
value
places.
system is jacked up. That's
Wrong
what I love
places.
about IFA. It taught me how to put things in proper perspective. Then
Thank you.
ask the question, can I have the ancestor support? Can I have your support? You know, what did
And
we
people,
go wrong trying to follow the plan you gave us? Where did we go wrong at?
we
Because
went
we
wrong
just
trying to. I know where we went wrong at. We went wrong
okay.
at my mom generation and my grandmother's generation. They started off right with my grandmother's generation, which would probably be your generation. They started off right because they still did things, but they were going through stuff. And then my mom's generation came in. They were still going through stuff, but they weren't slaves like that. Then our generation came in, and we probably got a little upset with the way our parents did us or didn't do us. So what we did, we came in with our children. A lot of us start spoiling our children and started being their damn friends instead of being their parents. When you stop being their parents and start trying to get along with them, that's when you run into problems. And that's what we did. Go to smoking with our children, drinking with our children, partying with our children. And then when you looked up at them again, guess what? Our kids was having kids. Now we all raising kids together. So at that point, you don't got grandmas and grandpapas no more. All you got now is your mama. That's your mama. That's your mama, auntie. Y'all close in the same age. See, it's a difference back then when you was close in the same age, because even grandmas back then that had children at young ages, they were more responsible because they had no choice. See, the way we do it these days, we let the kids get away with their children, and then we go to raising their children too. Steady beating us and can't raise no doggone children like we supposed to. When you're supposed to be a grandparent, you be a grandparent.
That's
and
it.
stop being the age of children being grandparents. That's where we went wrong. We got to take fault in our generation as well.
And then we got to take responsibility for the fact that we dropped the ball.
We did. That's what we dropped it. Trying to be friends.
Like and he probably tells us about that, you know, but we don't listen. And I know, but when, like I told my children, I'm not gonna raise yours. That makes me I failed when I raised you. So if you can't raise yours, you don't need them.
That's right.
You know, I have 10 girls and 4 boys.
Wow.
I've got 36 grandkids and 8 or 12 great grands.
How many
and they all love Pawpaw. They love Pawpaw. You know
1436.
Yeah.
My goodness. Oh, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
How many generations is that?
Shit, let's see. Now you got me.
That's a lot of, listen, whatever it is, whatever it is generations full of wealth and knowledge. And all they got to do is listen and pay attention. All they got to do, listen, if they listen and pay attention right now, the world could be theirs. I just need people to just take a pause in life. If you take a pause in life and say, I'm gonna give myself 1 year not to spend no money, not to go buy no cars, not to go and not invest just yet. If you got to slip something here, to sit it there, but don't go spending on shoes and this. I see the people talk about, oh, they got the name, everything people wear name brand. Man, this little jacket cost me $3. The boots that I got on, these damn booties cost me $19.99. I get everything off the clearance rack. That's why I could dress the way I dress. It's all about how you stand, how you put it on.
Around here, you promoting a brand that don't belong to you. The man getting this off the brand.
Come on.
Rollins say it's time to start listening to the women. Yeah, right on point, man. And I've been listening. That's why not only did I hear Ronald, I listened. It's a distinct difference. You know, I didn't hear the argue. I listened to learn, and I got my learning. That's why I'm an advocate of the feminine energy leading, because you know, y'all know what to do. You're the closest thing to the creator that exists. And we have
And
to
they
learn
don't
that.
get it. They don't.
Religion try to put you in a hole, but y'all refuse to go in the hole. Why y'all call the daughters of Lilith? Because she was a fighter. See, people know that Lilith, the first wife of Adam, according to their book, she said, I ain't going, we ain't gonna do that. It ain't gonna roll like that. We are equal.
That's
So
right.
if you can't see that, I'm out of here.
And you know what? You know what I like to say too? You know, coming from a woman that was married for 31 years, and like I said, I'm 50 years old. I was married 30. A lot of people wouldn't believe that. I was married 31 years and I have 2 children. And one thing that I could tell you, what people have to understand inside a marriage, a relationship, a friendship, a confidant, you know, whatever you want to call it, you got to understand that at some point or another, the other gender has to take the lead. See, when you learn your role in your marriage or your relationship, then you will understand when it's time to sit down, when it's time to take a lead, when it's time to lift the other one up, when it's time to speak up for them, when it's time to put your weight on the table and use all your energy because they need a rest for whatever reason. When you learn what those roles and boundaries are, then you will also learn how to get along. So one may say, well, why are you? I'm happily separated. After 31 years, I'm happily separated. Why? Because I know my goodness that I brought to the table wasn't reciprocated back. And that's when you have to learn yourself. You can know yourself on the outside and for anybody else around you. But if you don't know yourself from the inside, you're in trouble. And when you learn your wealth, the Lord is not going to beat you up. He's not going to scorn you, especially if you knew you did everything you could do. Because he also said he don't like a fool.
All right.
And you can live in your truth. You can be who you are, but you got to know who you are. But I wanted to say this too, Barbara, that also one of the other things that I've been looking into also, you know, there's another platform and it's owned by a Black guy. I got his name written down in one of my books. He owned it. He's building a platform just like YouTube and Facebook. And I want to make sure, and he's just starting out. He's raised a lot of money on it. It's starting to be very successful. And I want to kind of see what happens if we move over. Why? Because it's just like what we're talking. When we find our field, why don't we build on our own field? And it's owned by a Black man.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And we need to do that. We need to learn how
Yes.
to co-op and,
Yes.
and how to bring things together.
That's
To
right.
move forward. Because if we don't save ourselves, nobody's going to save us.
That's right.
And we'll go down as part of the throwout. And we got to protect our interests. Now,
Yep.
not that I despise anybody else,
Of
but
course
charity
not.
against the homeless spreads abroad. And I like what you said. You know, like, you know, I tell everybody, no, but there is a way to do anything. There's a right way and a wrong way. What we need to do now is our education system is gone down the rabbit hole. You know,
Yes.
you know, and we've become more dependent on federal aid than on ourselves.
Yep.
You know, and we got to learn how to quit being dependent on
Yep.
others and become more dependent on self-reliance. You know,
Yeah.
and God taught me that. And if you get all the
Yes.
Patrick keys and the various stories of the various Orishas, if you would listen to how they came, what caused them to make the move, these are energies that tell you how to build either bullshit characters or characters of success. It's how you want to get it. You know, I love issue. I love issue because look, issue will teach you when nothing else will. Because when you do, you'll bring it right to your front door. You test your character and bring it right to the front door. You know,
when I tell you, when you think, because when me going through this, I thought that I say, I say, I got beat up so bad. I got beat up, but boy, when I tell you the truth, Barbara, only the strong survive. Because when I tell you, if you know what happened not just my last 3 years, if you know what happened just these last 7 days, and when I tell you 7 has to be a remarkable number. Okay. And not only that, anytime I'm talking about love and peace, listen to this. Listen to this song. It's 25. Listen. It's the song 25. So what that song 25 does is it just shows me that change is about now. And it took me 3 years to become the person that I really, really, really am. in the hell that I thought I was going through to get here, I said, no, it only made me stronger because I couldn't tell you how to use social media, Barbara. That's why I'm not really into social media. I'm into my advocacy. I'm into what I said. I'm into, did you just tell the truth? I'm into, what did you say? No. Look at, what about this side of it? I'm into just getting to the truth of it. So when you say what Orisha do for you, it will break you down. But when you get rebuilt,
right,
that's the only thing gonna break you back down again, and that's gonna be you, because it teaches you how to find you and become a strong powerhouse and find your community.
About it. This is what makes me look at things in a holistic different way. I ain't got time for the other BS.
No,
I want to look at the spirit of the thing. I look at the spirit of a thing, no matter what it is, the money, the rock, the tree. I look at the spirit of it, how it came together, what it's doing, pro or con. You understand? And I was saying today when I was talking earlier, I said, oh yeah, this is who I need to talk to, because this sister's got the fire. All we got to do now is point in the right direction.
Hey, come on,
so
you better.
I said, so what we got to do now is let's get our first project on the agenda. Let's talk to the farmers. That's who now is going to have to bring the wealth. And you can't count on our sports figures. We can't count on that. We got to go to the very root, and that's going to be our farmers. Let them know you got back, and we're here for you, and we're going to work with you.
You want me to tell you why we?
Can you imagine us? This brother going in. I got these community behind me at John Deere, and we want a combine.
Listen, and I'm gonna tell you this too. What people not gonna understand, Barbara, they don't understand this. Listen, when I look at the scope in my head, I'm looking at the scope that say, you know what? We sitting in a circle right here. Alabama, everything really sitting as far over to the west, because I'm sitting on the east side. And what people not understanding, when I envision how big this is and how this can shift things in a big manner, imagine the first thing coming to my mind is, and people not gonna like this, but I don't give a damn. Come the right way, and y'all won't have no problem with me. But when you get rid of the illegals, when you get rid of and you stop paying for so many things and letting them undercut jobs, imagine all these head big companies and corporations. Imagine how you start bringing down the walls on them, and they got to move over because now they don't got no illegals to come in there and work and undercut the people. So now they starting to already fall. So now our farmers that have been working hard all their life, they have been planting these roots already in the ground. They already done laid their foundation, and they've been building. Don't you know it's time for people to see that them buildings don't fall? It's time to start. Then you can start shifting the right communities where they need to be. So if you shifting this way, that means you bridging the wall, and other things will start crumbling if you chip at it.
Well,
and what else?
One of the things that got them started was the fact we've been so successful, and that success was a fair factor for them. So they try to find a way to distract. That's why they started bringing them in. And then we fell for opening because then we start a thing called white flight. While we tired of being second-class citizens. I don't give a damn if I'm first class, for as long as I'm benefiting, I'm moving forward. I can get the head of the line. Because Dr. King said, if I hit the top, I can be the root. Because without the root, the tree ain't gonna stand. And we have to realize sometime at the root, if there ain't no root, the tree ain't gonna stand. And we're gonna bring that bad boy down.
How could it stand? Hey, and what people don't understand, even if the root not buried the right way, I don't care if you lay cement on top of it. Do you know what moves cement up above? Cement don't mean nothing. I've seen some. Listen, I was a part of the Hurricane Hugo in Charleston, South Carolina. That's where I'm from. Ooh. And did you listen? Hugo was a Category 5 hurricane that hit a Richter scale. I'm talking about it was trees pulled up from 1,000 years, hundreds and hundreds of years. Those roots were so deep down and embedded. I say, man, you know how long it'll take equipment to move this, and the Lord moved it in an hour. He shifted the whole world around just like that, and people just don't know. All we got to do is put our strength together like this and just follow this bill. And go to shifting it. All you got to do is just shift it just like this. You know how they did the Hully Gully, Barbara?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. They did the Hully Gully.
You definitely went back in. Now, to a lot of folks, what we're saying don't make sense, but I dare y'all to listen to the wisdom that's coming out and what's going on. We're talking about reclaiming our destiny and purpose.
And
reclaiming us and establish us as a viable figure to be dealt with.
And
You
we
understand?
sitting on a network to do it with, because back
Yeah.
then you
And
didn't have
now
nowhere to do it.
and
The
Bridget,
only
back
way
in
you
the day,
had
we didn't have
to
nothing like this.
come on,
Back
the
in the
only
day,
way you had to do it was you had to boycott, you had to picket, you had to
yes,
stand out,
yes.
stand in the
Did a
ground where they
many
could
of
beat
them.
you up. But now you own this. Is what I'm trying to tell people. We own a free. Listen, not only are we on a free site trying to do it, it ain't even come from us to get it done, and we still utilizing the platform. So this is the time for us to shake. Listen, I'm ready to shake the trees on YouTube too.
Yeah, okay.
They better know who I am. If I come and sit at your stage, don't think I'm coming to play with you unless I'm coming to play. Because
Okay.
this is serious business for me. It's serious.
Okay.
So we definitely go ahead.
These are things that we're going to set these first. Set the put the agenda down and the strategy to get it going. And what's going to be our first point of attack? We're going to reach out and try to find how much land, how many farmers, and who we can reach. Everybody might not agree with us, but those that agree to work with the program and the agenda, we will work with them to get support, because we need people that. I have a daughter. She's in Philly, and she's in Pennsylvania. She has a doctorate degree, and her thing is dealing with government contracts. Yeah, she has a doctorate, and her deal is dealing with government contracts. She know how to get those things together. So we got to know how to go in there and get what we need. Because see, that's where the goose land the golden egg is.
Come on,
and knowing where to go to get it.
And guess what else we need, Baba? So I got my daughter on August the 7th of last year. My daughter got her real estate license, but she got it for the state of Florida. And she just got her bondsman's license. Bail bondsman. I'm just saying, it's so many things that can be tied into one. All we have to do, honestly, is just put our minds together. The first agenda that I would like to put together, if we can get together, and I want to set a date. Just bring whatever farmer that you can get a hold of. Let's bring them in so that I can get a broader scope. Like I got the agenda, the money agenda, contract agendas. I like the fact that you brought up about the trucking, and now I understand how the farmers even probably can lock these truckers down. And listen, I'm gonna put this together, because we mentioned about the other platform. Because if we're gonna build up a platform, if we're gonna start building a platform and getting our own, then we're gonna start working on that platform, because that's a small platform. We can on there. So we
need to reach out to those that may have some knowledge of law and contracts and constitutional law and corporate law. So we can. That's one thing that the Panthers did. They learned the law, so they knew what they could carry and what not to carry. We've got to learn the law. And I don't mean that street stuff. I'm talking about the
real law.
Yeah, you know what the terminology is, because see, everything has a language.
That's right.
As Naim Akbar said, you got to know the language. If you don't know the language, you can get caught up, So we need people that understand constitutional law, corporate law, and et cetera, and et cetera. So we can go to you all and brainstorm. We can ask, and everybody don't have to do the same thing. Everybody has a position or a job. I've got a doctor, but when my doctor sends me to a specialist, they call my what you call it, primary care. When I got a placement to a specialist, we need specialists to go to say, look, how do you look at this? Then we bring it back and put it before IFA. What do you think about this ancestor? And we divine on it. See, I tell everybody, in all of our ways, acknowledge IFA, and IFA will direct your path. It ain't missed yet. It ain't missed yet. What about that? Ain't no super damn station.
There's no.
No.
They ain't gonna get it.
The world is using the computer that came out of our knowledge to run the world. Why can't we use it to further our progress?
That's right. And we can. We just need the right leaders to be put in place, and we need to make sure we have the right army behind us.
Know that this has a blood oath. If you screw over us,
you in trouble.
Thank you.
Listen, you in trouble. Hey, a guy tried to do me like that from over in Nigeria, and he tried to scam me out of money. And I'm like, you scam me. So I told him, I said, let me ask you a question. I said, do you know a Rumula? Oh, yeah, I know a Rumula. I should go back and about me. Ask him, should you do this? I said, ask him. I said, because if you know a Rumula, ask him, should you be bothering me? And I'm going to tell you, the minute you drop the keys down there, You gonna notice him being up and down like he never seen like a basketball, because he gonna tell you to back off because she's fully protected. Don't do it. I wouldn't have been guided this way if I wasn't protected. And now I'm about to be even more protected. So he even led me where I need to go and follow. Because I can't lead by myself. He got to put somebody there for you to follow. And all you got to do is believe he putting you and connecting you right. Once you get to this place right here, you done made it. I'm right here where I need to be. I'm right here where my barber. I know he done asked about if he already had a feeling about me. You better know that.
Yeah, see, so
we got work to do, and I'm putting us a little agenda together so we know what we want to talk about.
Well, you got it wrote down, and we're gonna start taking it one project at a time. You know, and think about then you want to run the history of New Orleans. What is the mindset and philosophy of that?
Yes.
Yeah, and then we go there because they're needing help, because right now they got a lot of bad energy. The thing about it is why. There's a reason why, and it's why it's where it is, because it's a key port in New Orleans.
It's something the next something it's got to be something big, Baba, because whatever my discernment is, when I seen Anton Massey in his eyes, something told me this big is what I'm looking at. He's just he's the door opener to it. And then I'm just looking and I'm saying, and something just kept saying, no, you need to keep going through the process, because you don't know, you're gonna be led, you need to be led the right way on this one. Whatever it is, so I can see there's a bigger connection than I think it is. Yeah, and I want
so we crack that pecan, get that shell back, we see that goodie.
You ready for this bottle?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ready?
Ready to crack that bad boy. Yeah.
Yeah. So listen. Yeah, so as soon as you can get, whenever you can get a date for us to meet, one of the farmers. Yeah. I'm gonna be ready.
And I'm gonna talk to him when we get off. I'll set him up for the next show, and I'll probably have him on the next show, and he can give you the whole rundown. You talk to him, then he'll tell you what we need to do to make the move. See, and that's what we have to work on. And so what people don't realize, at one time, blacks ruled Louisiana.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm saying. Do you think things changed when around Katrina? What do you think happened?
But prior to Katrina in 1968, Louisiana was controlled by a black legislator. Everything from O.J. Donning to Pinchback and all of his name was Antoine Dubalac, was lieutenant governor, and all of a sudden, a lady by the name of Teresa Corn, okay, all these people was controlling until they brought in the Klan, the militia, to run them out. So they went in, and then the guy overnight, you might have missed him. His name is L. Bay. The thing called Pyramids in America. L. Bay lives in Baton Rouge. He knows the whole thing about Nigger Town and all that we used to run. We own the majority. Matter of fact, Louisiana slavery was abolished in Louisiana in 1864. Did you know that? It was slavery was abolished in 1864 in Louisiana. Goddess, look at me. I know you type in, when did slavery end in Louisiana? Just do it for the sake of the people. Just type it. When did slavery end in Louisiana?
This got to be a joke.
Just
crazy. This is crazy. When did slavery
end in Louisiana?
Okay, it says December 1965.
No, it was slavery was abolished in Louisiana in 1864.
I'm saying 1860. Oh, I only see the 1865 on mine too.
No, it says the Emancipation 63 says the Confederate States says additional areas under the Union. 1864. Abolished in 1864. And Louisiana adopted the Constitution and abolished slavery. You see that?
Yes.
What
I'm
is
a whole
June 19th got to do with us?
Yep. Oh yeah, they can't see it because you got the barber phone number on there.
No, I
Yeah,
can see it on it.
I see it to the top right there. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. That's crazy.
yeah,
I can't wait to read up on that.
y'all know it.
I can't. When I tell you, I honestly, I can't. And you see that it said 1857 Louisiana banned individuals. 1857.
Yeah.
That's me and my mom all day on the birth date. Yep, that 1857. My mom
Okay.
passed away. Yeah.
1864 abolished. Come on.
Wow.
That's when you know your history. I ain't got to run all this stuff. I know the history.
You know the history, Bob. I don't know why you don't have a book already done.
I have one. It's called The Other Side of Slavery, The Untold Story.
You do?
Yeah.
You know I need to see that book and read it. I want to see that book. I'll meet you. I'm going to be meeting you. I'm almost sure of it. Okay. I definitely want to see that book.
It's called The Other Side of Slavery.
Oh my God. Well, let me ask you, is that the only copy?
No, I got it's out there. No, it's
really?
Out. Yeah, when I do my lecture, I can't. Man, hey man, y'all can't play too much. I've put the boots on the ground. I've traveled the places. I've done the work.
Wow. And you know what? And that's what it's all about too, Barbara. Right. And I think you done did so much work, and you know what? You like a walking encyclopedia. You know, honestly, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm a walking encyclopedia in a different way. Like you pinpoint the dates and stuff, and I feel like I remember. I connect dots on what people said to me, and like I don't care if you told me that 10 years ago. I remember what you said, and I could probably tell you the date you told me on.
All right now.
Yeah, but and that's why I've learned, like you said before, I've learned that my energy, honestly, is something special for me, and it's not to be played with. It's not to be tampered with, because I know I got things that I'm working on right now, and I just don't want to be wrapped up in the foolishness.
Right. You know, that's what I tell people. That if we understand the history and all thing about it, and we have to go there because history is the best sort of reward, man. How do we get here, and where do we glitch or miss a step at? You gotta go back down the road and find out. Go back to the table. Back to the table. When you go back to the table and the drawing board says, "Oh, this line should have went this way rather than this way," and say, "We'll make that mistake again." You know, and I tip up that I don't chase wolf cookies. I don't do that.
They don't know what that means. When you said it, Bob, I say this ain't nothing but an old coon too. And you know I'm an old coon too.
I don't chase wolf cookies. No, I don't do that. No.
I like how, you know what? I like that conversation, Bob. Hey, Bob, what did you say you was 81 years old?
I'm 79.
79 years old.
79
I was telling my daughter about you. I think Barbara said he was 81 years old. I said, if he is, that's gonna be special for me because my birthday on the 18th.
Okay.
So but it's okay. But you know what? You are a wealth of knowledge, Barbara. And I think it's about time that more and more people get to know who you are on here. And we have to make sure that we get you out there for real, because we need some of this knowledge to be left on the land.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, I was telling them all the time. I said, you know, well, I said, yeah, man, y'all play too much. I've been to the place.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Work, man. You know, I've been. So don't tell me about what you heard. Tell me about what you know.
And listen, and for me, Barbara, tell me about what you did, or tell me
about
what
are you doing now. What are you doing now? You know.
And Barbara, you see how you got your hand? Look at my hands, Barbara. Is that me? Are we doing the same?
I ain't gonna play with you. I ain't gonna play with you. I swear I ain't gonna play with you.
When I go to thinking, Barbara, I know I got big business on my mind, and I got to put them hands right here.
You know,
come on now, or I got to do you like this right here, or I got to scoot up in my seat.
Yeah, I gotta get But see, that's what I tell people all the time. So we look at the greatness of our people, and I like to use the thing, documentation beats conversation all day long. What you feel and believe, that's one thing. What can you document? And then what are you doing?
Exactly.
Let me get some documents to look at.
That's right.
And you can't believe the documents. Just look at them anyway. You know, there's no such thing as we cannot come together.
That's right.
That's the lie they tell us. We're not that so divided. Most
That's right.
time, what makes us break off is that we do not have a way to protect our interests.
That's right.
We let them come in and bamboozle us, or we get one of those cats who's a weak link in the chain, and he
That's
said
right.
it's over for a jelly roll. Look, man,
That's right.
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
And people don't get it, Bobble. People don't get it.
You know what I'd like you to do for the public's sake? I love you so much. Type in the 1868 Reconstruction in Louisiana. Black legislators in Louisiana, 1868.
Okay.
Remember, this is right out of slavery. Back 15 years.
And what was 1868?
Black legislators. Yeah, there you go. Black, yeah, there it is.
It said 1868, Louisiana underwent a significant period of reconstruction marked by the adoption of a new state constitution, the extension of voting rights to Black men, and the election of a Republican governor. This era, however, was also characterized by intense racial violence and political conflict as white supremacist groups actively worked to undermine the progress made during Reconstruction. My God, to be. It's a lot of work. That state is owned by Blacks.
Yeah.
I can't see it no differently.
That's it. It says Black power doing what was it? Go back down to the picture. I would trip me out. It is a Black power doing Reconstruction right there. Yep. Click that.
Wow.
Opelousas was founded by Black people, baby.
Wow. And you know what, too, Bobble? I don't think people really understand that.
Man,
A state like that, really, if you can get down to the bottom of what's old, just a simple state like that people think is so simple would definitely change the way other states start moving and start freeing up money that don't belong to them either. But like you say, we got to chip at it, because imagine being able to get to go where the money at in Louisiana, and then you got the New Orleans, and you got the Alabamas, and imagine if you can start going around and you can start nitpicking at these states and say, wait a minute, but y'all owe too, and y'all been stealing. And we got that you owe. See, that's what I'm looking at now. I'm looking to learn and understand where the truth at and what the proof is, and we got it. And this way we going to fight to get it back at.
That's the key.
So you can't just go out there and you ain't even got your foundation.
On emotion, won't get it.
You can't do it. You got to do it on facts. You got to do it on I'm not moving. You got to do it on I got a backup. I got to, you can't shut me up. I got a powerhouse behind me.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
That's what we got to do.
That's why I'm trying to tell you, because a lot of folks don't know that, man. Antoine Dubelac, one of the richest Negroes in Louisiana.
What is his name?
Antoine Dubelac. Antoine Dubelac.
I'm gonna look him up too. I got some homework. Because I want to.
Another guy by the name of William Natchez Johnson. He owned black and white slaves.
You say William Mattress?
William Natchez Johnson.
Oh, Matches. Okay.
Natchez, like Natchez, Mississippi. The niggas loan money to the governors.
What?
Yeah, that's how rich he was. William Natchez Johnson. I got his diary myself.
What?
Baby, look, we were buying plantations. That's why they got mad. We had so-called ex-slaves were buying off the old master plantation when they went broke. They were buying plantations.
Can I ask you this, Bobble? How did they get possession? How did they get possession where Angola is at? How did they get possession of that property?
The dude, the vice president, who was Andrew Jackson, after he pulled the federal troops out, gave the land back. Gave the land back to some of the slave owners. But a lot of the blacks that bought the land, what they could do about it. The Isaiah Montgomery, you heard about him.
So yeah.
Isaiah Montgomery. Have you heard about him?
Uh-huh.
Isaiah Montgomery built a town called Mound Bayou, the only black town left standing today. They had their own everything except for a police department. They didn't need no police.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you know what? I got my work cut out for me. And no, but it won't be long because I know how to skim through it to the point. Because
Okay,
if it's
yeah. See,
I know how to come
we
to
got,
the source.
you know, and I tell people, you got to look at that time. We wasn't all that violent. Our stuff got
Right.
compromised. Yes, we built
You know
towns of peace.
Because you know what they do, Barbara? What they do to us is this. When you go to them with facts, when you go to them with the knowledge, with the proof and the backup, that's when they look at you, oh, you're aggressive. Oh, you're this. See, look at me. And when I go to telling them how not necessarily how I feel, but let me point you back to the fact of this. No. You said this, and then stop right there because we're trying to resolve an issue, but we can't resolve it if you keep skipping ahead. See, when they get somebody like that on the market and intelligent, they're not using profanity. They well versed. See, they don't want anybody like that because then they go to throwing water. Oh, you was aggressive. No, I wasn't aggressive. I was direct. Oh, you're loud. No, I wasn't loud. This is my regular voice tone that you as a white person feel I'm louder than your ears. But for me, it's regular in my community. See, they go to throwing innuendos like that out there at you. And if you don't know how to dodge them like that, you got to dodge their ass like
you got a bob and weave. I got a bob and weave.
It's like that.
What we got here? Somebody just pick something up.
You want to prove?
Somebody says,
well, that's a whole different question. That's a whole different subject. Let's get back to.
I want to know how it is you voted for Donald Trump when you're so into facts, because his entire campaign is not based in facts. It was all based in propaganda and emotion.
I voted for Donald Trump for one reason only. His policies, if implemented, would slow the dispossession of whites in the United States. If you were to deport all illegal immigrants, if you were to think very hard about letting in any Muslims, all of this would slow the rate at which whites are becoming a minority.
Why are you so worried about the white dispossession in America?
Because I want my people to survive. Is that so strange? We don't control China. We don't control any place where whites are not a majority. And if we become a minority, we will not control our own destiny anymore.
I grew up in this country as a minority, as the children of immigrants. I was their first child born in America. And while I didn't have much possession or didn't much control, I really enjoyed myself. And I think that if you ask a lot of Americans, they would say that I had a lot to offer this country. You know, according to you, I guess I would be perpetuating the dispossession of white America.
That is true. That is true.
Would you say that you wouldn't want me in this country?
At some point, when my ancestors built this nation, they did not build it with the intention of giving it away to Mexicans or Chinese or Asians or to anyone else.
You keep saying your ancestors built this country. You consider that a fact?
Who else built it?
Black people, Native Americans, Chinese people who came and built the railroads.
Do you think none of that could have been
Italian people?
But they're Europeans, aren't they?
And you're so into science, but then you supported Donald Trump, right?
you know what? I'm laughing because remember the biggest fear is they don't want to be the minority.
Right.
If you look at the stenographer, if you look at the history of the white man, he's gone from 75% to 53.1%. It's in the record.
Right.
Went from 75%, and he's slowly dying off because a lot of white women are not having babies, and those that are having, they're crossing over. And I remember in 1988, I had a radio show in Dallas called the Overcomers Hour. I had Dr. Barrett. So I've been in radio for 32 years.
Wow.
And I had a radio show in Dallas on one of the FM channels. I had Dr. Barry Shango on there, and I had the Ku Klux Klan, the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan from Garland, Texas, as my guest.
I wish we could get him back. Ooh, I would love to get him back over there to ask some questions.
And he asked the Klan, what was the biggest fear? He said, penis genocide. Penis genocide. Black man is the only person able to genocide my race. And that was the fear. He said he's gonna come a time they call them gold babies. Well, now we call them Obama babies.
There you go.
See?
There you go. I
Yeah.
think what the time is for us to eat like the time is for us to eat like they've been eating.
Oh, I know that's right.
That's what the time
Yeah.
is. And for us, and listen, and when we eat, we don't have to barf our food down so quick.
Nah, take time to it.
We get to take. I'm so glad I could throw something out there and you catch me. Because some people that don't know me very well, I throw something out there real quick and they, what you say,
No, baby. Oh, no. Take your time. Take your time.
I'm so excited right now. I say, my God, I got some homework to do, and I just am waiting to really like put my fingers in this because I am going to look this up. I say I don't got to look that deep because when I need to know something, I know where to go at for the encyclopedia.
All right. Okay.
Because one thing about it, because what people don't understand is you can go and search it anywhere you want, but it ain't nothing like talking to the old coons that lived it.
I know that's right.
What better experience you gonna get from the book or the horse's mouth?
Okay, man, look out.
I'd rather go from the experience of the horse's mouth, because one thing about the horse, when he lead me, I'm gonna be able to look down at the pothole so I don't just fall before I get there.
I know that's right. I know
that's a totally different. So I'm excited, Barbara, and I'm so glad that we bonded and we kind of figured out that we do got a reason why we sitting here now. We don't have a reason to just be listening. We got a reason as to why we can start putting our boots, leaving our boots on the ground and fighting up here. And fighting up here means for us to get together, bond together, get whatever we're going to get together, and then start firing off with our proof, firing off with our pact, with our facts, and firing off with our army backing us up.
Right, with the collective,
we ain't gonna be able to do it.
Right, so that's why I said we come together. As I asked Sister Genesis, how many people did she know that are so-called practitioners of the science of IFA? I'm not worried about your cultural hang-ups. What are you all doing to move the people forward, rather than fattening your pockets?
You don't have to buy a 4K camera anymore.
All these different initiations.
Yeah,
let's get initiated on progress.
And then you go back to them and you don't hardly get to hear from them no more. They don't really lead you like they're supposed to. They want to be the God, this and the that and the other. And I'm saying to myself, what you got, I'm here, but I'm learning what I need to learn. But I know I'm here. If I had to go into that, and people don't know the struggles that you go into even become to get on this side of it. They think it's easy. Ain't not easy, man. 2 or 3 years. Man, you think that it's easy, and you wonder why, man, I got the worst look in the world. Ain't never working out. Yeah, because you're getting a line. You're going to take at least 2 to 3 years to get a line, without a doubt. That if you're doing it the right way, and you really into it, and you ask for change, and you got yourself in here, man, you going to go through the whole holy hells of whatever, but you will be gifted in the end if you survive.
That's it. That's it.
And listen, what we got to do, Barbara, I think what's going to be a good factor here is for us not to look for people that's been around. It's for people to find us, because now we're here. See, when we weren't here, then you had to look, but now you have to look no further. We're here. We were ready. And we only want to deal. And the people that know what we're up to and the people that want to be a part, they're going to come without us asking, begging, bumming, and borrowing.
Ain't got time for that.
They're going to come. They're gonna come. We don't got to worry about fighters, because we listen. We passed the age. We passed the fighting. Now we starting to build. We need to get back so we can start building. Or if there are things built, we're ready to rebuild them and let them get equipment and things that they need.
It's time for critical thinking. It's time for critical thinking. Cut out the BS. It's time for critical thinking. That's what we're doing today. We're trying to find answers to the problem, and not just talk about the problem.
Yes.
And I'm pretty well on a good road. And it won't happen overnight. So it's gonna take some patience.
That's right.
Let's get it started.
Yes, we're ready.
And I'll contact my brother. He's in Waterproof, Louisiana. And his name is James Davis. And I'll bring him on. He can give you the whole rundown. And from where he's running down, then you can, plus he's a great person to know. And he's running for Senate. I've been running for representative, because we're trying to get blacks in the Senate and in the representative. Well, it's rather be around the table and not on the table. You follow?
And listen, hey, Barbara, and what they don't know about me, and when I sit to the round table, how about I sit to the head of it?
Oh yeah, right. So I want to be a round table, not
Just,
on,
hey, listen,
on the table when you've been discussed. I want to be there doing the discussing.
listen, Barbara, one day they called me. I had to go to school for my daughter.
Okay.
So it was bad enough. It was bad enough. I said, wait a minute, and all shorter than me too. It was bad enough. I'm there on time, and I walked around. I walked in the room. All y'all late. Y'all act like I don't have nothing to do. I was so offended, Barbara. It was all my Caucasian people sitting to them. I was so offended at how long they had this school waiting. I walked in the room and I said, excuse me, this was the principal. I said, excuse me, sir. He said, yes. I said, can I sit right there? He said, oh, sure. I said, thank you. I said, how you guys invited me here and thought I was going to sit to the back of the bus? I'm the number one Uno that's supposed to be. You think I'm joking? I'm the number one person that's supposed to be sitting here. I'm the mammy.
Okay.
All right. To the head of the table. Y'all sit to the side of this table and y'all look at me and tell me what y'all trying to tell me about my daughter. So I'm ready to get them type of fightings back on, Bob. So you find out what you need. And when you get the date together, hope it's real soon. I'm gonna be ready.
As soon as we hang up, I'm calling him so soon we get through on the show and get him lined up. He's a real good friend of mine. You understand? And as soon as I get off, and I'm gonna hook him up. And then we got other guys. We got black contractors and builders that's building. Got to build homes. Got to bring them on board.
You better know. Listen. All you got to do is guide me, Bobby. You already see who the voice in the face gonna be behind it. And you know one thing about it. I don't play with them. You already can tell.
I got you, Goddess. I have you. I got you.
I'm ready for you whenever you are. I love you so much.
I appreciate the ancestors and you and so much. Yeah. So we're gonna make this happen.
Okay, Bob.
All right.
You know what? We will thank everybody out there. Thank you, Genesis. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, they can check this out. But anyway, we're gonna take. Hey, we all right. We're moving.
That's right. If anybody can reach Baba, all you gotta do is look right here, 318-341-2160. This is Baba. Hey, we'll be doing more on our Orisha, and we will be inviting you in whenever we will be put together soon. So we look to see y'all next time. Thank y'all so much. Genesis, turning it back over to you.
All right. They say they enjoy. All right. Thank you, Ronald. Man, for Modu Pay, DJ Genesis.
I want to thank everybody for being in the show today. This was a great show. I kind of let Baba and Queen really get to the meat of the conversation.
Hey, we appreciate that.
Right.
Education. Yeah. And
it's going to get better. We're going to get better. We're going to do more of this too. So they better look out for us out there because we are not stopping, y'all.
And we ain't playing.
Thank y'all.
All right. All right, DJ Genesis.
I am blessed to make money, making money, making money, making money, making money, manifest, making money, making money, making money, making